अगर आपके हाथ से चाकू गिर जाए नीचे तो क्या आप उसको हवा में पकड़ने की कोशिश करते हो? यू विल एंड अप cutting your hands. And that's exactly what is called catching a falling knife in technical investing. Today, let's talk about why buying the dip strategy is mostly a loss-making exercise, unless you are careful. It's not as straight as advertised. I have been analyzing these market cycles for over 6 years now, and I have learned the hard way that buying too early isn't a strategy, it's a gamble. So don't learn the hard way. Listen to me for the next 5 to 6 minutes and you will be a smarter buy the dip person by the end of it. In just the last 5 days, Indian investors pumped 1.05 lakh crore into this correction. Yet, almost every single one of them is sitting on a loss today because the market drops 1% every single morning. सोचो buy the dip strategy कितनी successful है. जैसे ही dip दिखा, you are going to go ahead and buy it. And that's why today I'm showing you the data backed way to survive 2026 without draining your bank account. Most of us are very lethargic investors, okay? That is why we love SIPs so much. But we can't ignore the fact that we are in a liquidity trap. So let's break down what we will cover today. We will first understand why averaging down is killing your edge. Then we'll look at the global triple threat, inflation, war, and the FII selling. And finally, I'll give you some rules to follow when investing rather than blindly buying the dip. If you don't change your approach now, you will run out of dry powder before the market even hits its actual bottom. अगर आपके हाथ से चाकू गिर जाए नीचे, you will end up cutting your hands. And that's exactly what is called catching a falling knife in technical investing. It happens when you try to find the absolute bottom of a crash. Trying to catch a falling knife is one of the most risky strategies because we have been hard-coded to buy the dip by all these SIP advertisers. What we do is, जैसे ही दिखा dip, we start with topping up our SIPs. And that is the biggest problem. In 2026, the dip isn't a V shape, it's a staircase. Every step looks like a floor until it is broken. And ये आपने देखा भी होगा in last 5 days. ऐसा लगा था पहला dip, उफ इससे नीचे नहीं जा सकता. फिर कुछ हुआ, उफ इससे नीचे जा सकता. And then yesterday it went to the bottom, 24,000 के नीचे. While it did not close below 24,000, but it was still the bottom. ठीक है? And what happens when you increase your SIP on day 1 of the crash and the market falls for next 10 straight days? So पहले दिन you feel smart for 1 day and then उसके बाद सारे महीने you feel miserable. The market is covered by stronger forces and we must acknowledge that. So that is why buying the dip is not the best strategy. It is actually a trap. But how do we spot the real global risks? So rule number 1 is that you cannot trade Nifty while ignoring the world. Right now, we are facing 3 massive headwinds. 1. Persistent 2026 inflation. 2 is the crude oil pushing towards $120. And 3 is these FII institutional investors pulling 25,000 crores in one single week. Not just one single week, आप last 4 days देखो. जिस दिन DII ने 27,000 खरीदा, उस दिन FII ने 27,000 बेचा. जिस दिन 18, उस दिन 18. Like in fact, you are funneling their exits. You are saying कि मैं पैसा देता हूँ तुमको higher price पे निकलने के लिए. So is that a good strategy? Domestic SIP money is currently acting as exit liquidity for the big global players. They are selling and you are buying their expensive mistake. So don't mistake a 0.5% recovery day, which is maybe today, for a trend reversal. Because understanding the why is really essential. क्यों भाई नीचे गया? क्यों नीचे गया? क्या ऐसी प्रॉब्लम होगी, right? If you don't understand and just go ahead and say कि आज dip हो गया, I'll go and buy, it's the worst risk strategy. So don't be so lazy. But it's not just about being lazy, it's also about knowing how. How do we actually fix your buy the dip strategy? So here is my 300% recovery playbook. Stop manual top-ups when the VIX or the volatility is above 20. High VIX means the knife is still in mid-air. इससे simple नहीं हो सकता. So what could be the actions? Maintain your base SIP. मैं नहीं बोल रहा कि भाई SIP करना बंद कर दो. I'm not saying do not stop your regular investments. Let it work. करने दो. कभी गलत होगा तो गलत होगा. No big deal, right? Add a 2-week rule. Only add extra lump sum or top-up cash after the market closes in green for 2 consecutive weeks. अब 2 consecutive weeks बहुत ज़्यादा होते हैं. I know, I also understand. So कभी कभी patience नहीं रहता. So look for resistance and supports. Don't invest before the resistance is broken. Because that is just stupid, right? And third one is start gradually. Start with 20% of your extra cash, not 100%. पहले ही दिन सारा का सारा बोनस इन्वेस्ट मत करो. 20% डालो. देखो चला क्या, नहीं चला तो ठीक, फिर डालो अगर चल गया तो 40%. This is how you stay in the game. But what about your specific 2026 portfolio? We need to talk about dry powder management. पता है dry powder is equal to gunpowder in hands. ठीक है, जब मन करा चिंगारी लगाई बड़ा सा धमाका. In this high interest rate environment, your waiting cash shouldn't sit in your saving accounts. Move that extra cash from your saving accounts, which is your dip buying money, into liquid funds or short-term T-bills. They are yielding 7 to 8% right now. ज़्यादा झंझट ही नहीं है. Less risk, more returns. Don't get emotionally attached to averaging down in a bad sector. If tech is crashing because of an AI bubble, no amount of averaging is going to save you, right? And if you follow this, you are not just investing, you are almost a strategist. 2 steps ज़्यादा ले लिए, okay? और उसकी वजह से थोड़े पैसे बच गए. What's wrong with that? Correct? So do that, please. Remember, I am not here to give you stock tips and make you rich overnight. I am here as your sounding board. कोई भी investment idea for your stocks, ping me or comment. Okay, my team and I answer and read all comments, and we'll give you a factual view of the current situation. I'm actually live every day 9:15 to 12:15 for the start of the session and 2:30 to 3:30 at the end of the session. अपना question वहाँ पर email कर दो या just type in the comments. This year in Jan, we warned everybody about investing in IT and we told them an exit plan. Okay. Many of you listen to us and they are sitting on that cash right now and the profit. They did not miss out on the crash. Missing out on a crash is always good, right? So don't miss out now and subscribe and ask me your questions and it will help you in one way or the other. So before we close, let's do a simple recap. That 1.5 lakh crore spent in the top-up SIPs this week mostly is wasted. Okay, wasted by the early buyers. They should not have put it. So now they are all sitting in loss. Don't do any extra top-ups until the volatility cools. 20 ka volatility is not your game. Don't do it. Focused on next 5 years and not on the next 5 days. Trend, FOMO, sab dur raho. I see a lot of people in my friend circles losing sleep over that 1% daily drop. So don't be that person. Use the data, wait for the green and let that knife hit the floor before you pick it up. So what's your plan for next Nifty support level? Drop a comment here. And if this saved you from a bad trade today, hit a like button and maybe subscribe. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for your time.